Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the June 2024 Cub Scout Roundtable. I am Vinny Close, Assistant Council Commissioner for Roundtable Program and Support for Great Trail Council. We're coming to you live tonight from the Great Trail Council offices in Stowe. We'll be covering recruiting tonight for our PACs, along with a lot of other great content. We have some special guests here tonight on site, and we've turned on the comments for this broadcast. So if you have questions during our presentations, we'll do our best to get them answered live. It's time now to start off Roundtable as we start off every Scout meeting, and that is with the Pledge of Allegiance, Scout Oath, and Scout Law.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thanks, everyone. And as a reminder, if your unit would like to present the pledge, oath, and law at a future virtual roundtable, just let us know or let your district commissioner know, and we'll make arrangements to get you recorded. First up, it's time now for our safety moment, and here to present that is Vince Marchetti, who is district commissioner for the Crooked River District. Vince, come on up. I'll move out of your way. You got to read off your...
Hiking is a great way to spend your time in the outdoors. Hikes are a great way to enjoy the outdoors and get into shape for more strenuous activities. Hikes can range from a short distance to the 20-mile hike required for the Scouts BSA Hiking Merit Badge. Some hikes might be on maintained trails that are relatively flat. Others are on rough terrain that is physically demanding. Regardless of how long a hike is, it is important to be prepared. Decide where you will go and review the route on a map. Make sure that it is within your capabilities and that you are prepared for the terrain. Our Cub hikes at Camp Manitowoc will be designed for each program level. Recruit at least one buddy to hike with you. It will be more fun and safer too. Always let someone know where you are going, when you are leaving, and when you plan on returning. That will ensure that if something goes awry on that trip, someone will know that you haven't returned and will start looking for you. Review the weather for the area you're hiking in. Will it be sunny, raining, snowing, windy or calm? Plan accordingly. And bring the 6 basic Cub Scout essentials with you. Doing so will help you be prepared for most situations that might arise. A big part of Cub Scouts involves introducing boys and girls to the fun and adventure of spending time outdoors. And if you're going to spend time outdoors, you're going to want the right gear. The Cub Scout 6 Essentials, learned as part of all ranks for their required outdoor adventures in the new Cub Scout program, is a list of a half-dozen items every Cub Scout should carry when going on hikes or campouts. Later, when a Cub Scout enters Scouts BSA, he or she will learn about the Scout Basic Essentials, unofficially known as the 10 Essentials. Whether he or she is a wolf packing 6 must-have items or a tenderfoot packing 10, the purpose is the same, ensuring young people have the tools they need before heading out the door. So what are the 6 Cub Scout Essentials? These are items every Cub Scout should carry in their personal gear when going on hikes or campouts. A first aid kit, adhesive bandages, moleskin, gauze, and antibiotic ointment. A water bottle, filled and large enough to last until it can be filled again. A flashlight for emergency use only. Trail food that can be made as a den activity prior to the activity. Sun protection, sunscreen of SPF 30 or greater, and a hat to protect your head from the sun. And a whistle, also for emergency use only. A Cub Scout should carry these essential items on any hike or camp out with the den or pack. By encouraging Cub Scouts to pack and carry their own personal gear, you're preparing them for Scouts BSA. And how should a Cub Scout carry these items? For convenience and to make sure nothing gets lost, each Cub Scout should carry his or her 6 essentials in a small fanny pack or backpack. Cub Scout leaders should emphasize that these items are tools, not toys, and should only be used when needed. Have fun on the trail, and we hope to see you all at Camp Manitowoc this summer for our Cub Summertime guided hikes.
All right. Thank you, Vince. Excellent job there. Quick shout out real quick from the comments. Want to say hi to Pack 3385 that's watching us tonight. Thank you for watching, giving us a shout out in the comments there. So, we want to remind everyone that you should be doing safety moments before any activity, den meetings, pack meetings, campouts, hikes, and more. Up next right now is our membership moment, and for that, we have a video presentation from Anthony Berger, who is the National Director for Cub Scouting, who's going to share with us what is the secret sauce of Cub Scouting that makes a Cub Pack successful.
Think about the term common factor. In math, common factors are numbers that are the same across another set of numbers. You can even determine the greatest common factor. For example, the numbers 12, 18, and 24 have the common factors of 1, 2, 3, and 6. Taking the common factor approach, we ask the question, if we take a group of packs that have a high number of families that join and stay each year, are there commonalities that each of those packs have that make them successful? Welcome to Roundtable as we dive into the common factors of successful units, or what we like to call the secret sauce of Cub Scouting. A study conducted by the research department in the BSA did just that. You may be surprised that it had nothing to do with those things that we may have thought makes for a successful program. For example, it has nothing to do with how many campouts your pack does, or even if you hold a Pinewood Derby. What we are saying is that those things are not common among all successful packs. There are successful packs that don't go camping, and there are ones that may not do a Pinewood Derby or do one that's not a big deal. So those activities are not common factors among all those packs. Now the good news is that there are just 3 things that all successful packs have in common. In fact, the study is true for Scouts BSA troops and older youth programs too. These 3 common things, when combined, make up the secret sauce of successful scouting programs. Just like the ingredients for a recipe, the order you combine your ingredients in is important. So get your recipe card out, and as we walk through how to make the secret sauce. All right, step 1 is to keep it safe. Scouts and their parents expect all scouting activities to be conducted safely. To ensure the safety of participants, the BSA expects leaders to use 4 points of SAFE, or SAFE, when delivering the scouting program. If you have not learned by now, one of the things that we love in scouting is a good acronym. We just can't help ourselves. To help units keep things safe, we created the SAFE checklist. This can be found on scouting.org at the link below. The SAFE, or SAFE checklist, can be applied to any scouting activity. Make sure to visit the page and bookmark it so it becomes part of your den and packs routine. A quick review of the SAFE methodology. S is for supervision. Youth are supervised by qualified and trustworthy adults who set the example for safety. A is for assessment. Activities are assessed for risk during the planning phase. Leaders have reviewed applicable program guidelines or standards, such as the Guide to Safe Scouting, and have verified the activity is not prohibited. Risk avoidance or mitigation is incorporated into the activity. F is for fitness and skill. Participants' annual health and medical records are reviewed, and leaders have confirmed that prerequisite fitness and skill levels exist for participants to take part safely. And then lastly, E. And E stands for equipment and environment. Safe and appropriately sized equipment, courses, camps, campsites, trails, playing fields are used properly. Leaders periodically check gear used and the environment for changing conditions that could affect safety. The SAFE checklist is a tool to help you with safe activities, but there's more to creating a safe environment. Ensure that your PAC promotes a culture where each youth, volunteer, and parents feels a sense of belonging and builds your community where every person feels respected and valued. It's also part of keeping it safe. If you're using the SAFE checklist and your PAC has a safe and welcoming environment, you can move on to the next ingredient. And the second ingredient is simply do the program. The vehicle for delivering scouting is the program, and we know that our program works. A study conducted by Tufts University was able to measure positive character development growth by youth who participate in our program. It works because the curriculum and the methods contain key factors that have shown to have long-term positive impact on youth. Using the Cub Scout program as designed and utilizing all the methods to program delivery is a common ingredient among all highly successful PACs. So, how do you know if you're doing the program? Well, it's actually very straightforward. There's two questions you can ask. What book are you in, and what page are you on? This isn't a metaphor. It's a literal question. If what you're doing isn't in an actual current official Cub Scout publication, it's not part of our program. The last ingredient now to the secret sauce, once you've got the first two in, is to make it meaningful. It's the thing that makes you feel important, that you're part of something unique and unparalleled. Everyone has different reasons for feeling personally connected, and those reasons for feeling that way can change over time. People should feel a constant level of meaning in their scouting experience, and that they have lots of opportunities to feel special. Okay, now that all sounds great, but what can you do to make it meaningful? Think about your PAC as a community. We recommend you watch the Cub Scout Live episode on the Scouting Magazine Facebook page titled Creating a PAC Community. It was recorded on February 12th of 2021. This episode will help you understand the things you can do to make it meaningful. All right, now you have the three ingredients for the special sauce of scouting. The key is that this is not a one and done recipe. It needs to be continually used and repeated often. All right, now it's your turn. Consider these questions to spark a conversation with your fellow leaders. What are things that your PAC does to keep it safe? What are the things that your PAC does that is the program that your families really enjoy? What are things that your PAC does to make it meaningful for the families in your PAC? What are some things you have learned in this roundtable that you plan to bring back to your den or PAC? That's it for this roundtable. I look forward to seeing you at the next roundtable.
Thanks, Anthony. Now, as he alluded to in the video, we want to remind you, don't forget that you can catch new episodes of Cub Chat Live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live. We'd now like to take a moment to remind everyone about the upcoming Adventure Fee Town Hall meetings. We know you have questions and concerns, and this is your chance to get them addressed. The first meeting will be held this coming Wednesday, June 19th, at Medina United Methodist Church in Medina. Then we have meetings on Wednesday, July 10th at the Camp Stambad Dining Hall, and on Monday, July 22nd at the Lewis Conference Center at Camp Manitowoc. All town hall meetings begin at 6:30 p.m. Now also, there will be extended Q&A sessions during the leader luncheons on Thursdays during summer camp. And finally, if you have any questions, you can email them anytime to adventurefee@gtcbsa.org. All right, up next, we're going to talk a little bit about the new summertime fun adventure for Cubs. We want to make sure that our Cubs all have an opportunity for a great summer of Cub Scout fun, as well as the opportunity to earn this new adventure. We know, and we have the data to back it up, that packs who stay active in the summer have greater retention rates and higher membership and recruiting. So, let's get started. Let's talk about the Summertime Fun Adventure. This new adventure replaces the Summertime Pack Award and is earned by those Cub Scouts who participate in 3 Cub Scout activities during their summer vacation from school. The Summertime Fun Adventure can be earned by a Scout up to a total of 5 times, once per rank from Tiger through Arrow of Light. Remember, Lions don't join Cub Scouts until their first day of kindergarten, which is why there is no Summertime Fun Adventure for Lions. Our youth that are going into 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades in the fall will earn an adventure loop to display on their Cub Scout belt. Older youth entering 4th and 5th grade will earn an adventure pin like you see pictured here. Now, this adventure is not required to earn rank. It is to make sure that our youth have fun with their Cub Scout packs, their families, and friends in the summer. Now, earning the Summertime Fun Adventure is very easy. There is just one requirement. Participate in any 3 Cub Scout activities. So what can count towards that? Well, anything that you do as a Cub Scout, whether individually or with your pack or den, can count. You can go to day camp. Last year, hundreds of Cub Scouts in our council got a chance to experience day camp, and we all know day camp is awesome. However, we have thousands of Cub Scouts in our council, so let's get them all to Camp Butler or Camp Stambaugh for any of our 5 sessions in June and July. The registration link is found on the Cub Summer page. Do you have any rising 4th and 5th graders in your pack? Nothing can be more fun than camping at Camp Manitowoc as part of the Webelos and AOL resident camp. We have 2 sessions to choose from. It is so important for our older Cub Scouts to begin to experience what they have to look forward to when they are part of a Scouts BSA troop. Not only will these Cub Scouts have fun, the advancement and adventure is off the charts. Again, the registration link is on the Cub Summer page. Now, do you want a great and exciting time? Register to come out to hike at Camp Manitowoc for free during our Scouts BSA summer camp. Join a summer camp staff guide at 6:45 on Mondays who will lead the Cubs around the camp on our trail system. Younger Scouts will have a shorter hike and older Scouts will have a longer hike. And all of them may pick up a requirement towards earning the new outdoor adventure for their rank. What a great chance to see what Camp Manitowoc looks like during Scouts BSA summer camp, where each week over 300 youth and adults are having the highlight of their scouting year. And don't forget to stop by the trading post and have a slushie. Registration for the hikes is required, but the hikes themselves are free. Sign up at the link on the Cub Summer page. The first hike starts this Monday, June 17th, and continues weekly through July 15th. Now, who doesn't love a great pool party? This July, come to Camps Butler or Stambaugh, or both, to swim and have summertime fun with Cubs from across the council. Now, we're still fine-tuning all the details, so we don't have exact dates yet, other than to tell you it's going to be sometime in July. But when we do, you can look for the registration link and the dates on the Cub Summer page. Now, when you're on the Cub Summer page, you will find the calendar with links to all eligible activities put on by our districts and council. For example, clicking on the day camp link will offer you all 5 sessions so you can choose the one that appeals to you. Finally, be sure to share with us your summertime fun. We want to hear all about the cool adventures you and your Cubs are doing. Complete the form on the Cub Summer webpage and tell us what you're planning. When you share your fun, the only personal information that we want is your pack number and location. No sign-in is required to share your fun stories. So have fun, and let's give our Cubs a great summer program this year. All right, we have some questions, I believe, from the audience. Sherry Buck, do we know how long the hikes typically last? I don't know that. I do know that the tiger and wolf hikes, I believe, are going to be no more than a mile. And I think that the older ones, it's going to be maybe 2 miles. So I would budget at least an hour. Plus, you got to go to the trading post because it's the gift shop. You got to go to the gift shop when you're done. So I think that we don't really know because we've never done this before, but I'm going to say at least budget an hour, maybe a little longer for the older scouts, plus time to, walk around the camp, see what's going on. There'll be a pool party going on for the scouts every night over at the pool on Monday nights, so you may want to go over and poke your head in the fence and see what kind of fun they're having there. But I would say at least an hour to an hour and a half. Any other questions we got, or is that it, Sherry? That's it for now. Okay. All right, so next we have our duty to God moment. So Lord and Baden-Powell once said that we should teach scouts not how to get a living, but how to live. Part of living a balanced life is attending to our spiritual needs. A unit chaplain and a chaplain aide can be wonderful resources for helping scouts be more attentive to our spiritual well-being. A chaplain is typically a religious leader from a faith-based charter organization. If the unit is not chartered by a religious institution, a chaplain can be chosen from local institutions who can meet the spiritual needs of unit members. The main role of the chaplain is to provide a spiritual element for unit activities with the help of a chaplain aide. One opportunity could be the religious observances held during Scout Week in February. Other opportunities for spiritual growth can be developed in conjunction with the unit committee. Duty to God doesn't happen by accident. Leadership in the key roles of chaplain and chaplain aide can help a unit participate more fully in a scout's duty to God. This has been a duty to God moment. And a quick thanks and shout out to Craig Robleski, the district commissioner from Soaring Eagle District, for providing us with tonight's duty to God moment. So, up next, we want to take a minute here to talk about member renewals. We're getting close to having members renew under the new membership renewal process. People that started joining starting in August of 2023 will start receiving reminders to renew next month in July. Your renewal period will be from when you received the first notice until the end of the month you originally joined. So if you joined anytime in August, you will need to renew by August 31st. It is important that the unit leaders, along with their members, decide if they will renew their members or the members will renew on their own. We at the council recommend that units renew their members, and here are a few reasons why. It is an easier way to manage unit membership. It may be a better way to manage fundraising money that will be used for registration fees, and it will ensure members that are participating in unit activities that are renewed and have insurance coverage. If you have questions about the renewal process, please contact your unit or district commissioner or our council commissioner, Sherry Buck. All of our commissioners' contact information can be found on our website under Resources. Just look for the Commissioner tab on the left side of the screen. It's now time for our hot topic, which is Cub Scout recruiting. We're going to start with a short video submitted by Mickey Smith, the Roundtable Commissioner from Stambod District, who was not able to be with us here in person, but sent in this video with tips and tricks for putting on successful open houses.
Hi, my name is Mickey Smith, and I'm going to talk to you on ideas for Cub Scout recruitment nights. One idea is called the presentation method. This is when the families come in, and while your potential new scouts are having fun doing activities, you're talking to the adults and giving them all your information. When they come in, you need to have a greeting table with a sign-up sheet, a welcome packet, a picture board, and an adult leader there at the table to help with information to the adults. Your welcome packet can have youth and adult registration forms. a packed calendar, flyers with your meeting date and times, contact information, and uniform information. Have stations with activities for the potential new scouts. These can be led by your adult leaders and members from your local troop. You can make s'mores, build bottle rockets that they can launch, do a boat derby, indoor fishing games. These are just a few. While the potential new scouts are busy having fun, the Cub Master or other leaders can talk with the adults. Touch on meeting dates, activities, fees, and more. Talk no more than 20 to 30 minutes. Take time to answer questions that the parents might have. Remember to have follow-up meetings in about 2 weeks for other questions that the parents are going to have. Another form of activities you can do is called an open house. Families come in and do all the activities that you have set up, and then they can go and meet the different members of your troop or pack and get to know everybody. Parents still get the same information in the welcome packet as in if you do the presentation method. And then have a clearly marked table with a display board for questions to be answered, and forms with payment can be collected. Hold a recruitment that works best for your pack so they want to be there and want to come back. Remember, have fun and make them feel welcome.
All right, thank you, Mickey, for that video. Now, Mickey also sent us handouts that you can use in your recruiting, and those will be posted on the Roundtable webpage at gtcbsa.org/roundtable. So after this, you can go up on the website and you can take a look at those handouts that she included. Now I'm going to bring on Lisa Testa, who is currently Operations Chair on our Council Executive Committee, but was most recently Membership Chair. She's going to talk about how to do successful recruiting and the Special Ops Join Scout Night teams. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here to talk with you all and to talk about how can we do a better job and what do we do to recruit and bring new kids into our units. We want to bring new kids and adults, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is how do we make that happen. So, BSA recruiting facts. Let's look at where we are and where we've been. We've been on a 5-decade membership decline. Too many kids join our program, but they don't stay. We have brand problems. We're not accustomed to competing for kids. We're a tribe that others don't understand if they haven't been in scouting. So there's two kinds of recruitment. We're most familiar with static recruitment. That's where we have an event, we focus on recruiting strangers, bringing new families and new kids into our program. We talk to them about the benefits of scouting, and we ask them to join. Static recruitment usually means a joint scout night event. A school talk is done, flyers go home, we have a join night at a local school, we recruit a large number of youth, and it can be done by one unit or multiple units. What are the keys to having a successful joint scout night? Planning. That's the most important thing. Planning is the most important thing in having a successful scout night. You need to designate a membership coordinator. I'm not sure what happened there. Designate a membership coordinator, get the unit involved, set your goals, get trained. That's where your special ops team comes in. Your special ops team are the people that help us run those scout nights and help us run a smooth, successful night. We want you to get trained so you can also go to those nights. Reserve your date and location, the sooner the better. You want to organize your volunteers, and you want to make it fun. Make sure you have activities for the kids to do separate from the parents, because there's nothing worse than having a chaotic night where kids are running around and things aren't going well. So you want to plan it, you want to have your dates in order, get your unit involved, give people jobs so everyone knows what they're doing, Get trained so you know what you're doing. Get that date and location. You want to make sure you talk to your DE on the date and location because they have to do these talks for so many units. We need to fit into their schedules so that we can, be considerate of their time and we can maximize what they do. So reserve that date and location, call your DE, find out when they're available, call your school as soon as possible. A lot of schools are getting ready to get out for the summer, so if you can call before the end of this month, it's very helpful to get on that fall calendar. If you can't wait, if they're not taking those dates now, then you want to call in early August, but the earlier you get on that calendar, the better. Schedule your fall youth talks and reserve that venue night. The other thing that's really important as you reserve your date and location is to let your DE know and to also communicate that so it can go to the marketing committee so they can prepare Facebook posts and things to go out to help publicize your night and get those kids and families to come. Organize your volunteers. Use den leaders and parents that are familiar with scouting and familiar with your unit. They need to be there to be able to talk to those families. Have stations for your parents to visit, and we'll talk about what stations you need. Encourage questions about scouting. Be sure to have materials for new parents to take home. You should have your pack calendar, a brochure on things that, all the information about your pack. Contact numbers, very important. So you want to have a whole folder for them to take home with all the information they could need and all the contact information so they know how to reach out and ask questions and make contact with people. Have fun. Have a fun activity for those prospective scouts. Have the activity separate from the parents. It can be led by 2 adults, it can be led by older scouts, but have some kind of game or fun activity so that the kids aren't just running around and distracting the parents. The parents can focus on what they need to do to get those kids signed up. Have stations set up. Station 1 should be a welcome and sign-in. Station 2 should be what do scouts do? Information. That's where they pick up that packet of information, the calendar, the contact information, all of that. Station 3, this is where we want them to fill out the application. Some districts use the online application. Each unit will have a QR code that is links directly to that online application. If you're more comfortable, certainly we still take all the paper applications, but have them fill out the application right then and there if possible. Station 4 is your checkout. For people doing paper applications, this is where we take their money and get them registered for scouting. Remember, the kids are not covered by insurance until that fee is paid and turned in. Station 5, that's where you meet and greet with your den leaders. This is where the parents can meet the person that's going to be leading their scout, and they can ask questions and have answers. And these are people that are going to be knowledgeable and able to answer those questions and talk with those parents and make them feel welcome and get them excited about the new adventure their child is partaking in. Oh. Static recruitment, the advantages of static recruitment are that we can reach a large number of youth. The presenter can get the kids all excited. You're at the local school where kids and parents are comfortable, and most of us are familiar with that method. There are a couple of disadvantages. It relies on the youth to take the information to the parents. How many kids don't take things home to mom and dad? I'm sure none of us have ever had a kid that didn't bring home homework or information on what was going on at school. It depends on having a good presenter at the scout night. You need someone to get those kids excited, to get the parents excited. It also depends on access to the school. Can we get in there and get to those kids? One of the problems is we have no direct contact with the parents before the scout night, the join night. The biggest thing is if our join nights are disorganized, this gives parents a bad first impression, and often they'll pass on the opportunity. So we need to be organized, we need to get to the kids, and most importantly, we need to get to the parents. So on dynamic recruitment, it's a little different strategy. Dynamic recruitment is continuous, it's intentional. It's everyday interactions with other people. It's friends inviting friends. Are you more likely to do something because someone you know is doing it or because of something a stranger says? I think we take that information from our friends and look at the activities their kids are in, and especially if our kids want to do things their friends are doing, it helps an awful lot. So people and purpose. A group of people without a purpose is a crowd. A purpose without a group of people is an idea. BSA's purpose is to give kids the opportunity to make moral and ethical choices across their lifetime. Most people, I think, outside of Scouting don't realize that. All of our units, what's our unit's purpose? And if you don't know that, that's something you need to develop as a unit. What is your purpose? And then communicate that out to your community. Think about what motivates the youth and the adults in your unit. That should motivate other people to want to come and do what you're doing and join in with you. The lesson in how to recruit people comes down to the word spam. Usually that doesn't have a great connotation, whether it's food or what's coming in our email, but there are some good things about spam. So let's talk about it. It's about skills, product knowledge. Can we talk about a product if we don't know what it is? We need to know what our product of Scouting is so we can communicate it. We need to be aware of our audience. Are they listening to us? What words will make them think twice, or what will motivate them to want to do what we're doing? And then M for motivation. Everyone is motivated when it involves their child if you pick the right words and things that resonate with them. So let's talk about the skills. Develop your people skills. How do you talk to others? How do you communicate with others? And what's everyone else's favorite topic? When you're talking to other parents, what's their favorite topic? Usually it's their own kids. Everyone wants to talk about their kids, and they want to know that they've got their kids doing things that are going to be beneficial throughout their lifetime. So talk about family, fun, firsts, friends, and favorite things that they're going to be doing. How do you sell Scouting during static recruitment? Does your unit understand the value of the BSA? Think about the potential new member. How can Scouting in your unit make his or her life better? Let's look at the value of our product. What are excuses people use for not joining? Money, time. Oh, we're already doing sports. I don't like camping. I don't know how. I don't have the equipment. Scouting is kind of weird, and those people are nerds. Those are all things we hear. What are your answers going to be to offset those things? Well, if it's money, let's face it, Scouting is less expensive than a lot of the sports teams our kids join. Time, we all make time for what's important. Sports, most scout troops, Cubs, Scouts BSA, will always make accommodations for kids that are in sports and other activities. Most people don't like camping because they don't think they don't like camping. If you haven't ever done it, you can't say that you don't like it. And there's so many different ways to camp. You can usually find a way that makes camping fun. And Scouting, we do wear funny clothes, but you're going to find great people who are passionate about what they do, and people who really want to help kids. Really, what you want to talk about is the value of what we do in Scouting. So speak from your own experiences. How do you feel when you're with your Scout unit? How have you felt about the kids you've helped and the things you've done with them? What have you found to be helpful and to be valuable? Don't share half-truths, don't oversell, but speak from the heart, things that really have impacted you. We have all, in scouting, had kids that we really knew we made a difference for. And I think those are the things you talk about. What were the things that have most impacted your scouting journey, and especially your own family? Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be anything, crazy, but if you keep it simple and keep it heartfelt, I think that always resonates with people. People know when you're telling the truth, and they know when you're speaking from your heart, and I think that always helps. You also have to know your audience. So 15% of the general population will always join something. If they're presented with an opportunity, they're going to jump in and do it. 15% are never going to join. They don't join anything. And those are the 15% that, you're never going to convince them, so you really can't spend a lot of your time there. But 70% of people are maybe joiners. Now, those maybe joiners are the people you want to really focus on. It may take a couple of tries. They're not going to join right away, but if you keep showing them, hey, here's pictures of my kid doing this, here's pictures of my kid doing that, look at what a good time they had, camping, look at what a good time they had, oh, they went canoeing, look at what a good time they had at day camp, because we know that's coming up, swim party, hiking, showing them pictures of things that your child is doing in the outdoors really makes a difference. You can do it many ways. You can share it on your Facebook page. You can talk to them in person. There's lots of ways to show people what you're doing and what your kids are doing, and to get them out there, to get them interested in what you're doing. Those maybe joiners, why are they maybe? Maybe no one's ever invited them. Have you invited them to a meeting? Have you invited them to an outing? Maybe they don't know anything about scouting. They may have never been a scout. Maybe they've already assumed that, that's not for me. But if they haven't tried it, they don't know. And I think in the climate we're in now, where so many activities for kids are indoors, giving kids the chance to learn about the outdoors and to have time spent out of doors is so important. And I think stressing that fact that we need to get our kids outside, away from all the little square screens that dominate their lives. Motivation. Having the drive and guts to do what is necessary to get the results you desire. So how do we motivate people? Well, we have to be convinced of the benefit of scouting to our youth and adults. I don't think there is an organization where people stay involved throughout their entire life like they do in scouting. And you talk to people who have scouted their whole life, their children may no longer be in it, and yet they're still giving back because they see the benefits of getting kids outside and involved. Growing our units is a motivator. More kids in the unit means there's more opportunity for fun and more opportunity for the kids to get involved with each other and have adventures. Growing the unit means more help for us adults. The more parents we get involved, the more adults we have to make the workload lighter because we can get more people helping. More members, more adults means a better program. Most people will work hard for their dreams if it's important to them. So it has to be their dream, not your dream. So what's your big dream? With more quality members, what could your unit do? What could you have? What could your unit become? So I think those are important things to ask your unit to figure out, where can we take recruitment and what can we do with it? So let's talk a little more about that dynamic recruiting. How do we make that happen? So for dynamic recruiting, sometimes it's good to hold a normal friend activity, a non-scouting activity. It could be just a bonfire. It could be a cookout. Something where you invite other families to come to a scouting event that isn't necessarily a camp out. It can be a cookout, it can be a game day, day hikes, pool parties, any activity that'll be fun for the kids and adults. Sometimes a softer sell, getting the parents to see that these kids all get along well, they're having a good time, they would be a good fit for our scouting unit. It's a lot less intimidating for parents to come to something like that because it's not a high pressure sell on, here's the application, hurry up and sign up. It's a little softer sell, but it's getting them used to the idea of scouting, meeting the parents and families that are involved, and seeing that they would be a good fit for this group. Packs alternate friend activities with traditional pack nights. You can schedule these year-round to supplement your traditional recruitment. And each pack family, if they select one, maybe two families that they want to target, imagine how quickly your program will grow, and not just in September, but all year long. So you can hold your normal recruitment in September, but what if you work on this dynamic recruiting for winter to spring? You could be adding families to your pack all year long. Parent information meetings are important. Once you have the families in your unit, don't forget about those family talent surveys. You always want to know what kind of jobs parents have, and can they provide opportunities for learning for your scouts? Many packs use the 100-point adult participation form, and it gives volunteer opportunities with descriptions of each opportunity and what's involved. You're hoping each family picks a few volunteer opportunities until they hit that 100 points. And each family then volunteers to do things that work within their schedule. Remind parents that scouting is an activity that you do with your child, not a bleacher activity where you just watch your child. It's family fun, outdoor activities, all based on the values of the Scout Oath and Law. With the parents, you want to start with a small ask or task. You don't want to ask them to be Cub Master right off the bat, but maybe just bringing the snacks next week is enough. First ask should be a short, well-defined kind of task. Save the larger asks for later and more experience. Pair new parents with experienced parents. Use general terms. Don't use all the abbreviations. Parents don't know what that means. Then it kind of is off-putting and scares them away. Most importantly, be organized. Have your calendar with all your meetings and events on it. Nobody likes surprises. We all have busy calendars and busy lives, so get that calendar done for your pack so that everybody is on board and can get their calendar and be at all the events that they can. 3 simple steps. Know it. Know and live the scouting values. Set your goals and recruit until you meet or exceed them. Do it. Every family invites a new family. Hold a normal friend activity and then work on signing up those families. Then look back and study it. How did we do? Review. Revise your plan and make plans to do it again next year. Just remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. We do have one question that we're going to ask you here that somebody asked online, and I think this might have to do with PAC dues. But the question is, last year when submitting an electronic form, I believe we had issues where the parent had to pay online and the PAC couldn't collect the money. Will using the electronic form require electronic pay?
I believe that it does. So I believe that they pay the national fee to national, and then any PAC dues would be collected separately by the PAC.
Okay, so if you wanted to do a single payment, that's not possible. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
At this point, that's how the national form works, because that's all done at the national level. None of it goes to Great Trail Council. So PAC dues would be a separate check. In that case, if it's easier, you can certainly do the paper application and then collect the entire fee at one time.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, because I know that's come up before with PACs that have said, can we just collect our $150 or whatever it is for nationals fee and our fee all together, and then we'll give the council the national fee and we'll keep the rest. But you're saying no, that the way that it's set up now is...
You have, in order to submit the national application, you have to have the fee paid.
Got it, yeah. Because I think ultimately it comes down to the councils want to get out of the money collecting business when all they're doing is just being a middleman to submit that to national. So if they can just eliminate that part, that makes Sherry's life a lot easier.
It sure would.
It sure does. Okay, there were no other questions that came up on there. So thank you, Lisa, for doing this. We greatly appreciate you coming in.
Thanks
and
for
doing
having
this.
me. I appreciate being part of your roundtable. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, hopefully everyone came away with some great ideas on how to put on a successful joint night. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to check your weekly district email newsletters for details on all upcoming events and activities in your district and in the council. Also check out the Roundtable page on the GTC website for more information on everything that we talked about tonight. You can find that at gtcbsa.org/roundtable. I want to thank all of our presenters tonight, and I want to give a special thanks to Stephen DiPaolo for staying with us tonight. And thanks to all of you for watching, and as always, thank you for all you do for Scouting. Remember, no roundtables in July. We'll pick things up in August with our district kickoff meetings. The details on those are starting to be populated on the roundtable page, so check when the date and time is for your district. We'll leave you now with some more of that feel-good inspiration to close out tonight. We'll see you on the trail. Good night, everyone.
Always welcome here. And whoa, and even if life brings a change, I know we'll be the same. You're always welcome here. You're always welcome.
I do this because I love the interaction with kids, and you make friendships for life.
And whoa, always welcome, always welcome.
It's been a great experience. We've made a lot of wonderful friends. It's just a great program for kids, I think.
Cub Scouts gives you an opportunity to build relationships with people. It was just something different all the time. So it's been a really good experience to actually be a part of.
I love being able to teach the kids, watching them light up when they get something that they're frustrated about. They just are like, yay!
And even if it's been a while,
after all the many miles,
you're always welcome here. And even if life brings a change,
I know we'll be the same.
You're always welcome here. You're always welcome.